Hi, in this video, we look at getting SwiftUI date, time, and timer in different formats. I'll show you how to get all these date formats in SwiftUI. You can find the source code of this project from GitHub. So you can search for datetime-timer-view.swift. So you can copy the code from here and use it as a reference or use it as a cheat sheet when you want to display dates in different formats. It has a lot, so let's get started by going back to the Xcode project. Over here, I will unfold the code by double-clicking on the ellipses. Let's begin with a date, having month, day, and year. To do that, I will add an H stack here. Then we make it contain two text views. And put a spacer here. Let's change the first text view. Then we place the date in the second text view. To get the date, I'm going to remove the double quotation mark and put date.now. When we use date.now, we need to specify another parameter here, that is format. For the date format, there are so many kinds. We are going to use datetime. For that, you can see we get today's date and the time of my locale. I live in Helsinki, Finland, so the date and time may be different from yours. Using datetime, we can be more specific. For example, we can specify day. So here we get only the day from the date, or we can add month. As you can see, we have April 28. If you want only month, all you need to do is to remove the day. So we have April. I will press Ctrl Z to undo the change. Lastly, I will add the year. So we have April 28, 2024. Next, we can request a date with the format month, day, and year. Then we can customize the format by abbreviating the date and omitting the time. So let's add this. As you can see, we are still using date.now. Here we use datetime. Another way to specify that is to use date.now.formatted. Then we add the date and time. If I remove this and put a period, you can see we have different forms. But let's undo the change. So as you can see, the first date is also the same as the one we just specified. So you can just choose which one you prefer, this one or that one. Here we have a lot of customization options. For example, we can put a period here to customize the day, or put a period here to customize the month and the year as well. Let's move on to the next by requesting a date in the form of day, month, year. Here we customize the date to get a long date and omit the time. You can see we are still using date.now.formatted and customizing the parameters date and time. A shorter way to get this same date format is to use a text view and just specify date.now and the style parameter. So here all we need to do is to specify the style as date. If you like, we can also specify another format like offset if you want to create a timer, relative, or we can also get the time. We will come back to that later. So let's press Command and Z to undo the change. For the fourth date format, we create a date having day, month, and year. Here we specify the date as complete, and then we omit the time. Since we specify the date as complete, you can see here we have Sunday 28 April, and the time is omitted. If we do this, the year will also be added. So you can see here we have 2024. So what about if we want to get the date in a numeric format? With that, we are going to use this code snippet. So you can see here, we are still using date.now.formatted. And all we need to do here is to specify the date parameter as numeric so that we get the day, month, and year all in numeric format. And as I said before, we can also customize the time parameter as well to get different formats. For example, we can say we want shortened. For that, we get the date in a numeric format and also we get a time. Let's undo the change. Next, we will request another format that omits the date and also having a complete time. For that, we get the date in a numeric format and GMT as the time. So all that we are doing here also depends on your locale. Let's go to the next by omitting the date and getting a standard time. For that, we get the current time of the day depending on your locale. Next, we will omit the date and shorten the time as well. So you can see we don't have the date anymore and the time is shortened. So it is giving the current time of my location, that is 10:44. We can also request the system to give us only the day of the year. Over here, I added two different formats. You can see here, I have date time and we specify the day of the year. So if you specify the date this way, it will count it from January 1st. That is why we have 119 over here. For the second one, we specify date time and day. So we have April 28. So you may ask, what about the era of the year? To do that, we request date time and call the era method. So you can see here we have the era as AD. To get the quarter of the year, we just need to call the method quarter after the date time. So you can see here we are already in April, so that is Q2. Next, if you just want the week of the year, you just need to call week after the date time. So we are now in week 17. We can also request the weekday in different formats. For the first option, we are calling weekday after date time. So we can see today is Sunday. That gives you a shortened version. So in the second option, you can specify the weekday as wide, or just choose another option by putting a period here. If we put narrow, you can see it gives only the first letter of the day. I'll press Command C to undo the change. Next, we can request day and weekday by appending the weekday method after the day method. For that, we get the day shortened. So instead of Sunday, we have Sun 28. In the previous one, I showed you how to get only the first letter of the day. If you want only the first letter of the month, we can also request that. So you can see here we have A, that represents April. So that happens when you specify the month as narrow. Then we get the full month name. So in the second option, you can see we have April. To get only the year, we can use this code snippet. So here we specify the year after the date time, and we have 2024. In the second option, we customize the year by specifying it with 2 decades. So instead of 2024, we get 24. Next, you can specify the time as AM and PM style. So here we have 10 because I'm recording this video at 10 AM in the morning. So if I move the mouse cursor to the top of the screen, you can see my current time is Sunday, April 28 and 10:57 AM. So that is how you can specify the time in AM and PM format. Supposing I'm recording this video at 10 PM, you will see 22 here instead of 10. Next, we can specify the date as day, weekday, and month. For that, we get abbreviated versions of the day and month. We can also say we want day, weekday, month, and the year. And that gives Sunday, April 28, 2024. So this is how you can get date and time in different formats in SwiftUI. There are more customization options, so this is not all. Next, let's move on to getting timers. I will add a list section here and add all the different forms. The first one is time offset. So here we specify date.now and specify the style parameter as offset. If you want a relative time, all we need to do is to change the style and choose relative. You may also want to create a count up timer. So here, all you need to do is to specify the style as timer. For the timers, this is not all. So if I remove the timer and put a period here, you can see we have different formats as well. So this is everything we have in this video. I encourage you to get the sample code from GitHub and use it as a cheat sheet when you want to add date, time, and timers in your SwiftUI app or project. Thanks for watching this video.